Sharief Ishaq joins us from the 504 WDSU covering Saints and the Pels. Sharif, how we doing?
I don't know who's busier, you guys with the lane train or us with just a derailed train over here.
I think we're not busy right now. We will be busy this weekend. We're not busy right now. I think that New Orleans is a little bit busier at the moment. Let's go back to Sunday first. Coming off a bye, at home, Falcons in town. What was the biggest disappointment from Sunday?
I really think, Hunt, I swear, every time after a bye week and they play the Falcons, they seem to lay a nasty, nasty egg. And I don't know why that keeps happening. That's why I kind of wish they didn't have that bye week, because I feel like they had a little bit of momentum after Carolina. I was just going to say Kellen Moore was the biggest disappointment to me. The play calling, the taking Tyler Shough out during the goal line packages and putting Taysom Hill in on 5 of the 9 snaps inside the 5 or 10 yard line. I just think that his play calling was not good that game. I understand he says he wants to win, but in my mind and anybody else's mind and in his mind, it should be, I want to see what Tyler Shough has. And that was just a big disappointment to me.
What did Tyler Shough have on Sunday?
I thought he was pretty decent considering how long he was out there and the chances that he had. I thought that 2-minute offense before the end of the half, I thought he moved the ball really well. I thought he was in the pocket, climbed the pocket at times, and got out of the pocket when it was time to get out of the pocket. The offensive line is a mess. He did as much as he could with the offensive line being bad, and I thought he did a decent job. In my opinion, I thought he did a decent job for what was going on in that game. So I was a little encouraged. I was encouraged by the way he played in that game, considering what happened.
The defense got a pick 6. I don't know if the rest of the action was awesome. What was your take on that?
Look, the defense did as much as it possibly could do without the offense. And
yeah, I got no help.
We'll get to him in a second. They had Blake Grupe missing field goals, which we'll get to in a second. And it just, I thought Kirk Cousins made 3 good throws in that game, and that was pretty much what decided the game. The touchdown pass to Bijan Robinson screen after he had a intentional grounding. And I just think there was one other pass. And I was like, okay, Kirk Cousins was very mediocre. I think the Saints defense made him look pretty bad at times. So it did its part. But the problem is offense can't score touchdowns when you get inside the 5-yard line. Makes your defense work even harder.
It does. That's true. And then we go to the special teams where Grupe just didn't get it done, and now has been let go, and Cade York's been signed. What was your take on the whole kicker shuffle? How long it took him to release Grupe? The fact that they brought in Justin Tucker. What did you think about the whole thing?
I thought it was a few games too long. They should have probably done it a while back. If this was Sean Payton, he would have cut him after maybe the second kick. But to be out in that Giants game when he missed 2 kicks, even though they won, he would have probably cut him after that game. He would have cut him before that game. I just think, good guy. It's a thankless job, Hunt, because you have just one job to do, and it's the guy. It's a position where it's the biggest revolving door. It's the most thankless job, and if you just don't make your kicks, that's just your one job to do is kick. And I think the loss of Darren Rizzi kind of hurt him a lot. I truly think not having Rizzi around, you saw kind of affect him a little bit in terms of kickoffs and his field goals. It was not a good year for Blake Grupe, and it's the right move. I still think they should have made that move a few games earlier.
Where were you on Justin Tucker?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yes, the off the field stuff for sure was the number one reason. This franchise cannot do stuff like that right now, considering how bad things are for the team. That's the last thing they want to do. But I just think his career was declining before they even released it. I just didn't think he was that good of a kicker anymore. I'd have been better off going with Cade York, even let Charlie Smith here kick it a little bit. See what he have out of Charlie Smith, just like they're seeing what they have with some of the other young players. But I'm good with Cade York being there. It's fine. As long as it wasn't Justin Tucker, I was good with it.
So we know Cade York is 24 years old. He was best kicker in LSU history. You got Charlie Smith there as well. Is this a competition? Is it York's job? What does that mean to Charlie Smith? What do you think is the situation now as you move into this game on Sunday?
I keep listening to what Kellen Moore says about Charlie Smith. He continues to say he's still developing. And that makes me think that there weren't bringing Cade York in to just put him on the practice squad. So my gut feeling tells me that it's Cade York's job. I prefer it to be Charlie Smith because I just want to see what he has. He has that big leg now. He was very up and down during training camp and during the OTAs and mini camp. But give him a chance. See what he has. Who cares? You're 2-9. You're not winning more than another 2 games probably. So I understand he wants to win. He's in that mindset that we must win. But I mean, at some point in time, you got to see what some of your other players have, and that would be Charlie Smith. But it's Cade to me that's going to be kicking.
I admit, I don't know if I would go as far as say I was drinking some Kool-Aid last week, but I was feeling okay about the Saints. They hadn't lost in 3 weeks because you had a win and a bye week, and then you go into the game week. And so it had been a minute since you've had real disappointment. And then, boom, you get hit right in the face with disappointment with an awful game on Sunday. Did you have that kind of range of emotions that I did where you were kind of feeling okay about it going into the Dome, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, yeah, this is still terrible?
Yeah, man, going into the Dome, it had the music, the good New Orleans rap music was playing, felt good. Looked good in those uniforms. I was like, all right, they have a chance to make a statement here. You know what? Against their rivals, Tyler Shough can keep these fans happy and have them on his side. And I'm not blaming him for the loss, but I'm just saying it was a disappointment, man. I mean, just from the 38-yard missed field goal, 47-yard missed field goal. And it's just like, not being able to score in the red zone and just having Taysom take the snaps away from Tyler. The whole thing was a disaster. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, I give credit to the defense for the job it did, but the rest of it is just an absolute mess, Hunt. And it was just so deflating after what they did in Carolina and having that little bit of momentum.
How do you feel about Sunday in Miami?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
You know why? Absolutely. There's the speed on that team is going to be very tough for the Saints. It's going to be tough, and their secondary is very good against receivers. I think they're number 1 in the NFL when it comes to giving up yards against receivers. So it's going to be even tougher. Now, I said the same thing against Carolina, and they beat the Carolina Panthers, but I just think the speed here and the momentum that the Dolphins have, they're coming off a bye week after being international a couple weeks ago. So it's, I just think the Dolphins are a little bit better than them. Might be a little bit more than a little bit. It's just their speed is so tough.
What's the number 1 side that's got to be on your plate for Thanksgiving?
Whew, I'm a macaroni and cheese guy.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Are you a mac guy?
I am. My family can't decide what macaroni and cheese they're going to make, so we end up with 3 different versions of mac and cheese most Thanksgivings. So, yeah, big on macaroni and cheese, and I like the answer. I think that's quality stuff that you're putting forth there.
All right, Hunt, I can't wait to bother you at some point this weekend.
For what?
I'm just going to want to know about the coach is going to have.
All right, I'll do my best to figure it out for you, and we'll see what we can do. But I appreciate it. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk next week.
All right, happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone listening.
Sharief Ishaq, WDSU, down in New Orleans. Hey, it's Hunt. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.